On the third day that I was in Rome, I heard a presentation by an archbishop from the UK that brought to me a tremendous amount of peace and clarity. Because at this point, I was really confused and in some ways disappointed by what I was hearing was coming out of the synod. He talked about the church and the big picture of evangelization. And he explained it this way. He said, at the front end of evangelization is initial proclamation. And that initial proclamation is to call people into an encounter with Jesus Christ. Then, what flows from that is the need for catechesis. And then, how sacraments play a part in bringing more and more conversion, deeper conversion into the lives of those who are coming to the church. And then he talked about the importance of community and of liturgy, and that the church is to be a sign, a hopeful sign to the world, meaning our life has to reflect gospel values. And then he finishes off with mission, evangelization. He who has been evangelized needs to evangelize. That brought tremendous clarity to me. I saw the bigger picture. And I could see what the church, how the church understood evangelization. But then I asked the question to him and to many people in the next few days, okay, this is a big picture evangelization for the church, but what is it that we mean by initial proclamation and encounter? Conversation after conversation, it seemed that those people that I talked to, they quickly reverted to things like catechesis, and the importance of the liturgy and the sacraments and the witness of life and of community, all extremely important to the evangelization process. But it seemed that they were unable to talk about the initial proclamation. There was a lack of clarity. They didn't know how to talk about that aspect. And what I realized is that the church, her people, we're comfortable. We know how to talk about catechesis. We have programs about and how to bring about catechesis. We know the sacraments, and we're trying to make the sacraments more available and more relevant to people. We know the importance of community, and we know how to, and we're trying to build better liturgy, provide better liturgies, and we know, and we're trying to become a greater witness to the gospel. We know these things. We're comfortable with them. We can talk about it. But we're uncomfortable, we're unclear about the initial proclamation. So in the midst of these conversations, what came to me was the importance of the discovery study and the ultimate relationship. These are great resources that deal with the front end of evangelization. They don't encompass all of evangelization, but the front end, the initial proclamation, the essential initial proclamation and the call to encounter. That is what the discovery study and the ultimate relationship are all about. Initially proclaiming Christ clearly and simply so that the hearer can hear and respond. They're a great resource. But as I was thinking about and really, getting into and getting more and more excited about the discovery study, I realized that, as I mentioned in my last vlog, the confusion or how the church was struggling to deal with evangelization, how it could be a united front in regard. Church is different in different parts of the world, in Africa and Asia, and, South America and Europe. We can't have a one fits all. But what I saw in the discovery study, it's not a cultural message. It's not a message or that is relevant for North America, but not for Asia, or it's something that we can't talk about in Europe. No, this message is central to the Christian message, and it's packaged, and we can use it in different parts of the world. It's not cultural, it's the essential message, clearly and simply put, and it can be used in any context. So I want you to know that I am so convinced that these two great resources are a great gift to the church. I'm more convinced of it now than I was when I went to Rome. But there's another thing that I heard quite often in my conversations, and what was being talked about in the synod is this need for small Christian community. It seemed like everyone was caught up in the whole idea of small communities within a larger community. Again, the discovery study is all about being in a small community. It's a courtyard of the Gentiles, a place where people can come and their first step into the larger community, a place of conversion that will bring them into the larger community. But I also heard many times that evangelization is always one person at a time. It's one person passing the message off to another person. It's proposing it one person at a time. And I couldn't agree with that statement more. There, the ultimate relationship becomes a great resource. It's all about sharing that message one person at a time. It's one thing to say, and I think everyone would agree, yeah, we got to have every Catholic passing it on to one person. It's a beautiful statement, and we would all agree. But what to make that happen, we need a resource. We need to know what to pass on. Again, the ultimate relationship is that resource to make that nice statement a reality. So I want you to know that we have a great gift, a great resource that is in the ultimate relationship and the discovery study that's being used on campuses across Canada and around the world, and is being used as a great resource in parishes and dioceses in the hands of all those Catholics, wherever they are on the globe, in whatever part of the world, they're using it effectively to bring about this initial proclamation.